Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be on Sami Zayn, Honorary Oos. So we have a new Sami in the game, and this is my all-time favorite storyline in WWE at this point. The Bloodline storyline, especially starting with Sami. Um, so I'm super excited he's in the game, and I'm happy I get to play him at 6 star and test him out and show you guys. So first off, I love the poster. I feel like it captures Sami great right here. So there's that. Anyway, I'll try not to fanboy too much during this. Probably will be slightly biased because I love Sami. But here we go. He is a modern era um, technician. He's got the bunch of links, the SmackDown link, the Bloodline link. Green submission moves do, is that 20,000 more damage per turn, modern era, and then repeated over and over. And then he's got the honorary use gear. He is a trainer. Oh, he's also a defensive technician. At 26k or 6 star, purple submission moves do 100% more damage per turn, and purple moves start with 2 more MP. That's a pretty cool training ability. I like that one. Gonna start out with, actually, let's take a look at the strap. So I do have a Sheik plate equipped for this. Whenever you activate a green move, increase your green move damage by 100% for two total turns. So it gives you 100% more move damage, which in Sami's case is going to be significant. I have a combo strap. It's one set of Takedown 2, one set of Fury 2. Gives me 80% gem damage. And the Sheik plate adds 100% here. So we have 195% move damage. This one is only level 12. There's 50% more to go to unlock on here. So you will not be seeing him at his max possible damage. There's 50% missing right there. First move set is one I think a lot of people out of the gate looking at him on paper are going to say is the best one, and I do like this one a lot. I think my favorite one is the one I'm going to run last, though. But this features the Haluva Kick, 10 MP finisher, deal 817,000 damage. That's a big boy finisher, and destroy 6 random blue gens in the opponent. So every time we hit a green move, finisher is going to go up 800k. Hop diving crossbody, 8 MP green, deal 160k damage, and choose 10 gems to destroy every time we hit a green move. This is going to go up 160k. And the submission, 7 MP, the Koji Clutch, generate 22 sub gems. They do 195k for 3 turns, and they turn into multiply gems. So that's what we're going to start with for triple green. Entourage, we're going with steel. Oops. You know what? You cannot do this in feud this way. So let's take off the more... I think R-Truth is more rare than Anvil. This needs Santa Hogan at 17k in feud to run this way. My apologies there, guys. If you do not have 17k Santa, you could take Gable off. You're going to lose, as you can see, a decent amount of finisher damage and run a green MP trainer. Or if feud perks aren't maxed defensively, then you don't need 17k Santa for this triple green to start ready turn 1 in feud. So let's get out here on the road. Actually, it's the event that's going on, and we're going to take on big boy Shinsuke Nakamura at 6 star. So he's going to have a lot of hit points. A lot of hit points. Okay, let's take this to 1.25 for the video. You can see just starting out our finisher's 3.8 million damage. Hop diving is 456, and then sub is here. So in feud, this move would not be loaded until next turn, and this wouldn't be loaded unless we break some green gems. So you'll be starting off with the sub. Ideally, it is really nice to keep at least one green gem with submission gems alive. So hopefully we do that. It makes it much easier to do what I'm going to do on this turn. Unfortunate that he pinned us. That actually kind of messes with your pin bar a little bit. But, so you have a few options here. Like, he managed to do a row break and charge a bunch of his move after the sub. So what I would do is go for 6 MP to reload the sub and drain him again. But you're going to see the finisher will be fairly big after this. Let's take these two. Honestly, I should have taken one more. That was a misplay. I should have taken one more and I had it there, so this would be charged next turn. So that's a mistake by me. Finisher's up to 5.5 million. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the sub. We'll make the finisher bigger. Now it's 6.2 million. We would have it even bigger if I could hit this one again, if I wouldn't have made that misplay. But that's okay. I think this might put him away. If not, we'll have this loaded next turn to mess around with it. Let's find out. Because it hits harder than it looks. Even though it shows it a certain number, it always hits harder than it looks. So you're going to see we actually hit for 8.5 million. So it's a little bit deceiving on this. It doesn't always stack up properly. You can see it adds up in a hurry, right? So, yeah, that's a good moveset. I'll run it one more time for you guys. Just because it's fun. I'll put it on 2-speed for the extra time. I mean, I'm obviously, like I said, you can probably tell Sami's one of my more... he's my current favorite active, this storyline. Him and Cody, actually, are my two favorites, so... let's go ahead and run it again. I probably won't get him, so I'm enjoying my time getting to test him, because it'll probably be a long time before I'm able to get him in-game. But you never know, right? Let's dial it up to 2. And we'll run it again. I do have a bunch of movesets, so maybe I shouldn't dink around so much, but you know what? You can always fast forward it through the second time if you don't like it. And no one says you have to watch Mherex anyway. Alright. So when it's like this, I'll grab 2 multis. Boom. Since we have a decent amount of pin bar. Everything is reloaded. Finisher's moving up. This is loaded. We have a decent amount of green, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the finisher this turn, assuming that it's not going to get us the win. I figure I'll end up needing it to hit it again. Yeah, like that. But no fear, we have our sub loaded again. Right. Break 2 again here. And this is kind of what I was going for. So I could show you guys on the end of the second cycle just how hard this hits. We're just going to clear this. And pop the finisher. Watch how hard this hits. I mean, we can't really see because it drained him completely. And that's a showboat health, so... yeah. That's a really good moveset. Okay, so this moveset... full disclosure, guys, this is on here just so you can see it. I'll play it 1 cycle through in 1.25 speed so you can see the moves. Then it's going to be 2 speed. I don't really see a situation where you would ever use this moveset. I could be completely wrong, and history may look poorly on me. However, they do flow together, and they are the moves, so let's use them so you can see them. They're low charge. And they have awesome names, so, you know. So, 5 MP and 2 4 MPs, respectively. Mikanoshu Driver, deal 125k damage and make 36 immobile gems yellow. The Oos is loose, can only be used while pinned, deal 349k damage, plus 26,000 bonus damage for every immobile. And then Feeling Oozy, also only usable when you're pinned, deal 37k damage and make 36 random gems into immobile. Obviously, if you're running this moveset, you would change the green over to yellow move damage on the metals. And the Entourage, we're going to run full immobile. Also, a lot of people won't be able to run this moveset, or trainer set rather, because Santa Hogan or regular Hogan there is 6-star, and not everyone has Eddie either. So a bunch of immobile damage. It makes it so this does, I think it was like 2.4, 2.7 million when I did use the calculator for this move, which is the okay amount, but you need to get pinned, right? So, yeah, we're going to wait for Nakamura to pin us. He also has a sub, so this could be painful. But this is the only way I can show you the moves, and I don't feel like switching to a guy without a sub. Ivar would be great to show because, you know, he pins a lot. So we're not going to hit the move or anything. I'm going to leave it in 2 times while we do our swipes. And hopefully he gets a, you know, some kind of cascade action. Eventually he's going to get the yellow here and pin us, and then, you know, he'll be using the sub, and it's going to be less than exciting for everybody. But you will get to see the moves, because he's going to pin us right here. So I'm going to turn this to 1.25. At least I hope he pins us. It's the AI. He might stop at 1. You guys know how that is. Excellent, we're pinned. Okay. Now keep in mind these don't kick you out. So we're going to make 36 randoms into a mobile. He has 15.8 million health. Now we're going to hit this, and we're going to do... take him down to 12.2. So what was that, like... maybe 3 million plus or something? I don't know, math is hard, right? Now we got to kick out. I'd prefer to leave my immobile gems alive, so, you know, whatever, though. And now we're going to make them all into yellow and reload everything again. And this usually was hitting, I want to say, for around 2 million. Also, you'd want to run this one double Fury, too, which I'm not, so you could hit a little bit harder. And who knows, maybe they'll come out with some kind of a mobile plate. 2.1 million damage. But now you've seen the 3 moves. So I'm going to go back to 2 times speed because, you know, here comes the sub party. I'm going to try and keep that yellow match over there alive. We'll see if the game lets me. It does. Cool. So he's going to pin us with the finisher, so this is good. This is a good thing, since we want to get pinned. He also doesn't heal off of this, so not the best strategy, because you're getting pinned, taking damage, and you don't heal. And it's not, you're not doing a ton of damage, right? So again, he's at 12.6, and he goes all the way down to 9 million. So I guess we're doing like 3.6 million, I guess. So there's that. And let's break this one. Why did that say 3? That's tripping me out. Alright. Whatever. It said 3. I thought, like, it skipped an animation or something, but we're fine. That's just weird. $2 million again. And let's hope he pins us. That would be fantastic. So we don't have to go through the sub thing again. Cooperate for the preview, Nakamura. No such luck. Well, let's hope we can set up a yellow match. But I think you guys probably see why I'm not a fan of this compared to the other builds, right? Now we have to wait for him to pin us again. Unfortunately, that sub is loaded, so that's probably going to be painful. Yep, so you guys, I think you've seen the problem with this build, right? Like, in general, I do not see a reason why you would ever run this, at least at this stage in the game. I don't know why it's here, other than it's a moveset that flows. It just doesn't make sense considering everything else, so... but people always want to see the moves, so I am letting you guys see the moves. Hopefully this time does it. I'll turn the speed back down since we'll get to see him one more time. I'll actually pay attention to them because usually I'm busy looking at the board. Ooh, big cascade anytime, Nakamura. You can see how much he healed and look how much damage we've taken. I don't even know if we're going to win this match. So, maybe I will just quit out. Because I think you guys have seen, I mean, like, when you're pinned, there's not really an animation, right? So, yeah. Interesting. This is why I didn't lead with this moveset. Yeah, I'm just gonna quit out of the match and heal up. Because it's not really worth it even to show the moves. So, there's that build set. Don't run it. Really weird, right? Okay, on to more fun stuff. This is a destroy build. And you can go a few different ways with it. I decided to go the sub route with it because people a lot of times like seeing how big the sub can get, and I don't have double Fury on. For this moveset, I would change the plate around and go to all heart skill plate, and you could do a few different things, which we'll talk about. We are going to bring in the blue Thunder Bomb, and you've seen the other two moves. The hop diving cross body, and the Koji clutch. Blue Thunder Bomb is 6 MP blue, deal 191k damage, and increase your green MP by 10. And we're gonna, like I said, buff the sub for this one. Instead of doing that, I played it too where I put Matt Hardy on and buff the multiplies and Mherex. So I thought I would go with this is probably a little more accessible trainer-wise. And Sheik Plate really isn't going to make much of a difference on this, so I thought this would be nice for people that maybe don't have some of the more rare trainers. You could see what this one would do for you. So the old school super sub builds, well, they're not doing as much as they used to. With ones like this where they can recycle pretty well are good. And you could also use J there for 10% green and 10% sub. So it's 7 turns at 333,000. It's over 2.1 million. And we using Lawler makes it so you don't need 17k Santa and you can start turn 1 with the sub. So Blue Thunder Bomb's a really nice move in my opinion. And you can do a lot of nice stuff with it. You'll see more after this, including in my favorite build. Doesn't need 17k Santa, which is nice. And you can still hit big finishers. That's probably why it's my favorite build. You could also run like La Familia Plate, which I believe is destroy green, get blue, if I'm not mistaken, or blue, get green, one or the other, to help with recycling. But all heart would let the green and purple gem multiply gems hit a lot harder. Obviously, if you hit one blue, you've recycled. You hit the green, you've recycled. You don't really need them necessarily, so it's just, you can, if cascades line up like this, you can take them. Otherwise, it's just break your multiply gems, you know? Get as much damage as you can, and whatever. I guess I missed a multiply there. 1.4 million after the sub, not crazy hard. When I ran Matt and Mherex, that was usually doing like 2.5 million for reference. And now, you know, you can go with whatever. I'm just going to sub. Don't even need to worry about loading the blue because it's already preloaded and loads both greens. So as long as they're like low on life, you can, or they're low on MP, it gives you a bunch of options here. I'm gonna leave the multiply gems. He's in no chance of getting a move, so let's just go right to the finisher. Create a row break here. And then it looks like mostly, let's just go ahead and grab, and we don't care about green because our MP is full, so we can just grab as many multiply gems as we can, right? I could have hit the blue thunder bomb too because I was filling it up. Maybe should have done that. Doesn't super matter, right? Like, it's super easy to recycle. Good board, bad board, doesn't really matter. Good control. Just not super fast, right? So Matt would definitely hit harder than the sub trainers in tours, for sure. A little less control though. You're not always fully draining them, so kind of up to you what you want to do. Same thing with feud too. Like, you're probably gonna win most of your matches with this type of setup. Blue recycled, green recycled. We're all good. Let's break some multiplies like that, and then sure, let's take some green gems. Again, pretty easy recycle. Shinsuke's almost done. Really high control. So nothing fancy needed for that one. This is my... basically, this flows like Sami would in a real match. It's like a combo of 3 moves into a finisher into the win. So I really like this moveset for me as a mark, as a Sami mark. It's not my favorite because, you know, there are better ones, but bear with me here. We're going to hit the blue thunder bomb, right, first. That's going to be our first move. And then we're going to hit the exploder suplex into the corner, and then we're going to hit the haluva kick to finish him off. So Mherex booking here, just like you'd see Sami in real life, right? Exploder suplex, 6 MP blue, deal 244k damage and make 37 gems into freeze gems. Mostly just annoying. Other than that, it's going to look very similar to the next build set we're going to run. And because it's Sami and because I can, I'm going to use Gooker, even though he's a rare trainer. And yeah, you'll have to, I guess, deal with it. The last moveset, I'm going to take the Sheik plate off, by the way, and then I'll use a little bit less trainers and run it a second time, so you can see it that way if you're waiting for that, since that's my favorite. We'll do that. I'm leaving 10% on the table with Anvil not being 6-star, and 50% on my metal, so that's another 60% you can hit. Also, if you have a green percentage in takedown too, you're going to get even more out of your finisher. So this will look a lot like the first move set, except the Sheik plate isn't helping this at all. Well, technically it will on cycle 2, because we probably won't win first cycle. It'll probably be 2 cycles. That big boy finisher is 4 million. Let's get that full. And I suppose I could see this being useful potentially at times when you don't want to let people do a lot with the board. The exploder suplex. Too bad it's not into the corner, but still. I mean, the animation's there. I need to turn this down to 1.25. Sorry, guys. I went through that whole last one at 2 times speed, too. My apologies. Scuff content creator. That's okay. I mean, I'm here for the blue thunder bomb, the haluva kick, and the exploder suplex anyway. You can see as the longer this match goes, what the potential problem is going to be. Also, you can run out of blue gems on the board potentially, since we don't have those multiply gems down. So that's a possibility as well. So you may not get a perfect recycle with this build set, but it's certainly annoying once for your opponent when they're looking at a board full of freeze gems, right? It's got some work to do to kick out here, though. It's no gimme. Yeah. So there you go. Second cycle win. And I think this is my favorite set, to be honest, because you don't need 17k Santa. And it hits really hard, and it feels a little bit easier, if that makes sense. And you'll see what I mean. Also, the sub means if there's not as many blue gems, you still have an outstanding chance of recycling, as long as 1 blue gem lands a multiply gem, so it makes recycling even easier. So there's that. Again, if you don't have the Sheik plate, you could always put the La Famila, I believe, um would help as well. So it's one of those two, either that or Honky Tonk Man plate. You'd have to look at it. So only difference is, and you've seen all the moves now, so we can just pop the Koji clutch in. We're keeping the exact same trainers and going right back in. And this also lets you slow them down with the sub, right? And the sub also helps your finisher, because it's a green move. I love the blue Thunder Bomb. $4.8 mil. Destroy some multiply gems. 5 mil pin. Okay, no big deal. Got some blue gems on the board. Should be easier to recycle. And I mean, theoretically, you could hit it again. Almost for sure, it's enough to, you know what? He's not in danger of hitting a move. Why not? Let's just hit the finisher right here. He's in no danger of getting a move. We recycle the blue. No problem. So let's just go for the win right here. I don't think he's going to kick out. So you can see, like, really simple, really fast, a little bit easier to recycle, sub to drain. I actually like it more than the triple green because you don't need 17k Santa. I think it's much more accessible to most players, and you only have so much Santa to go around. And Santa doesn't really buff anything as far as move damage, so I think the potential is actually pretty good here. Yes, you do get an extra green move, running triple green, but I do feel like this is smoother and easier requirements. Now, as promised, let me take the Sheik plate off. And then let me load this up with, let's say, like, I do have some pretty high move damage, but I think you can probably get close to this. And I'll tell you what, for this one, let's see how it goes. I'll take Master Gable off, and we will go with one of those green move damage guys that yeah, we'll go with KO. That's kind of fitting. And let's take Anvil off, and let's go with J, right? Because everyone has J. And then move damage wise, I think people have Ivar, and he's a little bit low for me. He'd actually destroy another gem and have 5% more. So let's just do that. I'll like totally bare bones it. So you should easily be able to get to this amount of move damage one way or another. And this should cover you all. If you're thinking like the too hard of trainers, too big of metals, this should cover that. So let's see what this one looks like. And then after, I'm going to put it in 2 times speed though. And then after that, I will talk about where I think he fits into technicians on my roster and in the game. So 2.7 million on the finisher here, certainly not bad. But certainly not as big, right? That was a 2.9. And this is a very high hit point opponent. Plenty of blue gems on the board. Since we're subbing, it should cycle pretty well. Most of them should end up with multiply gems, because he covers like half the board in multiply gems. And of course, a bunch are staying, so that is helpful. Shinsuke did get his match multiple times in a row, because he's a butt. So he will be able to do his choose move next turn. Hopefully he causes a pin if we don't win. So let's hope he pins us, because I really don't feel like going through sub BS. Excellent. So you can see it, he definitely loses some luster without all of the stuff, right? Absolutely. Makes a big difference, that move damage stuff. But I do think he's still pretty usable because he's draining you. And if you don't have all of that stuff and you happen to get like lucky on a bag from him or something, because let's be honest, you're not getting this one with just a little bit of stuff on your roster unless you get lucky from a bag. I do think you could absolutely still use him as your tech, and he can still get the job done because he can drain a lot. It's just going to take you many cycles, I'm sure, as you're finding out. And of course, the AI gets a 5 match. Why not? At least he didn't do the sub. So let's hit this last set of moves, and then I will talk about where he fits in on the roster and stuff. Technician actually isn't super duper deep, to be honest. There's not a lot of like incredibly amazing ones, so I think he's gonna fit in quite nicely. And maybe you'll be surprised, maybe you won't. There's certainly some bias on my part because I love Sami, so keep that in mind when we talk about this. But my cat is going crazy. That cat's actually playing. Okay. You probably couldn't hear it, though. Alright, let's check out the technicians. See where we got them. We'll look at mine first, and then the ones... We'll look at the ones I don't have first, maybe. I don't have Zombie HBK. I don't have Brock. Oops. I don't have... That might be it. I don't have gear for Razor. Who are the other really good ones I don't have? So certainly, in my opinion, Zombie Dom is the best tech, I think. If you have a lot of stuff for him. But he isn't bulletproof. If you get pinned when the countdown gems are out, he's done. So there's Zombie HBK. And Brock. So I for sure think we can throw Brock out. I think he's better than Brock, no question. So I guess we'll just worry about Zombie HBK for the guys that I don't have. Then we can just look at my roster. Alright, so let's go class. Tech should be at the bottom. They are. Certainly. So, I know a lot of people like Razor. I don't have his gear. I don't think he's very impressive without gear. Even with gear, I don't think he's incredibly impressive unless you have somehow like 100% gem damage strap or that type of thing. Then I think he can be a lot better. But I'm not super... I think Sami's better than Razor, at least on my roster. Maybe not on everyone's, but mine. He's better than Brett for sure. Again, better than all these guys. Snoop, maybe with a drip plate in both gears. I think Snoop could do better for you, probably. But I don't think he's like head and shoulders above. And then you're wasting a drip plate too. Well, now he is better with a drip plate in both gears. Let me rephrase that. But that's a lot to invest in something comparatively. Here's a very interesting one to me in DX Triple H. DX Triple H can win on turn 1. He's going to require a lot of the stuff in the sense that you need a high move damage metal. The more rare entourage you have, the better. And he gets better, and his gears he gets better. That being said, I honestly think Sami's less clicks than him to win, unless you have absolutely everything. So I think they're very comparable. Maybe give Sami the edge on my roster potentially for speed. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a mark, so it's hard to say because they're close. And that's the techs. I think he's better than Shamrock. I think he's better than, you know, Steamboat. It's really, yeah. I mean, like, I think he's right towards the top. I mean, Zombie Dom's not perfect. None of them are. So I kind of have him towards the top of the list. Top 3 for me would be a top 3 tech for sure. And I think most people top 4, top 5, no matter what, even if they're not a mark. But yeah, I'd take him to 6-star right away at tech for me. He'd go right up, as I think he's pretty good. I think he's better than Zeke. So let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. hopefully we all can get Sami, although that's, you know, not even kind of realistic, but I mean, you know, maybe you'll get lucky, maybe I'll get lucky. Otherwise, in the future, I hope to get him because I think he's a lot of fun. Let me know what you think. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, as that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there.